off Dolls Kill, which Dolls Kill now has a store in New York. Woo! Dolls Kill, they got a lot of fun clothes, so if you want to check it out. Yeah.
What store is that?
Yeah, Dolls Kill.
Oh, I love it, man.
He loves looking at the models.
Oh, yeah.
Because they're scantily clad.
Oh, my God. Yo, the best stripper outfits ever.
They're pretty cute stripper outfits on there, but they also have like a lot of cute accessories and clothes that you can wear professionally if you're careful. Not a lot of professional clothes, actually, now that I think about it. Mostly stripper clothes, but they're really cute stuff.
It's an experience every time I get one of their emails. I'm like, man, yo, and I actually look them. I'm like, mira, pero esto también. But I never open them in public. It's so weird. But anyways, that's besides the point.
Gotcha. Opportunity, promotion, blah, blah. You know, those are just words.
Words. All I have to offer is words. Just words.
Nobody cares. Nobody cares.
What's going on, beautiful people? Today is a wonderful evening. For the first time, we're doing Just Words. Nobody cares on a lovely Wednesday evening or afternoon. Nah, this is like evening, right? Yeah.
Evening. Oh, this is evening.
This is evening.
Afternoon
yeah,
is gone.
You know what it is? The fall weather kicks in a little bit, and so once the sun comes down, I'm like, no, todavía son las 5. Nah, it's still 5 o'clock. But it's not. It's like 7, 8.
Well, a rollback is coming soon.
Which one?
Rollback.
Fall back.
Fallback.
Look at that, man. Make sure that you still show up on Dominican time everywhere you go. It doesn't matter. Even with that extra hour, niggas still show up late. Anyways. Let me get into who we got on deck. But before we start talking about our special guests, let me intro. If you didn't know, you should always know. We got my brother, my main man, Monsieur Los on deck.
Yes, we're here. What is it? Wednesday night, right?
Wednesday
night in New York City. ¿Cómo se va, crew?
It's not magical. It's not romantic and all that good shit.
What?
A Wednesday night in New York City.
But the lights are twinkling because it's nighttime.
You didn't say it with like mad love, bro.
Unfortunately, New York doesn't have many stars. You can't look up and see stars.
But the moon.
Yo, the moon be popping. Y'all saw it like the last couple of days? No? Nobody?
Yes, from
I
the
saw
window.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, you saw it?
Beautiful.
Okay.
We got the moon in New Jersey.
No, I feel like you don't get shit out there, bro. Like nothing. As always, the lovely, the honorable, phenomenal Lady H on deck. Thank you for coming.
Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
How's your week been?
It's been good. It's been chill. I didn't have to go to Boston.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Look at you.
Yeah.
Yo, every time you don't got to go to work, it's a good day, right?
Yeah. I mean, I like going to Boston, too, but it's nice to be home and work. And I feel like I'm on top of all my deadlines, but I see the tsunami wave of work coming. I'm like, no.
You never realize you got to do shit until everything piles up in the last second.
I see it coming, but I've been diligent about getting what I need done. So.
Exciting times. Today we have a beautiful special guest because what's very exciting is how we cross paths. How you cross paths, Ron? Let me tell you right now.
Do we gotta go into
There was a Dominicans Creative Event in the Heights. That's number 1. Gunshots, my man. Shout out to the Washington Heights that had a beautiful Dominican Creatives Event at 7 p.m. People showed up like around 9, but it was gorgeous.
What time did we show up at?
We showed up like at 7:15. I'm on my American time shit.
We left at 7:15.
No, we got there like.
Okay, we left like at 7:08.
Come on, let me tell these people whatever my side of the story
is. And we showed
is.
up at a very civilized 7:30. 30-ish.
Cool.
Yeah.
I am blown away by
my
that.
man. Half an hour late.
Really good. He's been really good.
For Dominicans is like being there on time, as far as I'm concerned.
No, we were on time.
Yo,
well, that's a special thanks to you, H. That's you making that happen.
That's all him.
Stop it! You're giving this man way too much credit.
I haven't told him to do anything.
And the tigre hater. Anyways, so we get there, and yo, there's like a ton of wonderful people, right? And I decide to step off for a second and just start taking pictures. So I can have it for the gram, because if I don't have the pictures, then it never happened.
It never happened.
It's just, that's the way it is. And I come back and I get my drink from H. And this young lady who's our guest today, who I'm about to get into, her name is Alfonsina Isidor Sosa. I got to make sure I got this shit on
Sosa.
Is here with us today. And what it makes it all the much more significant for me is because in the mix of me drinking my whiskey and wearing a poncho on a deceptive fall day because I thought it was gonna be warm. I'm sweating my life away.
Oh, you thought it was gonna be cold.
I thought it was gonna be cold, but I was super hella warm, and I was sweating my life away. And I was trying to carry a conversation with you, and you were patient enough to look at me with your worried ass face, like like you are looking at me right now. You're like, who is this motherfucker? And you're like, bueno, nice to meet you. Mi nombre es Alfonsina. And I'm like, man, so what you doing here? And then you went off and you gave me like the dopest, what I think dopest story is. I am Dominican. I live in Spain, and I have an office in DR, but I'm in New York for the New York Latino Film Festival to showcase a movie. I was like, yo, you gotta tell me more.
Yo me imagino a Alfonsina, cuando tú lo viste, dijo yo, tengo que hablar con este hombre, con este Pancho puesto. Porque un loquito como este, con un Pancho, hay que hablar con el hombre del Pancho.
Totalmente. Me encantó su Pancho también. Es que acabo de estar en México, porque yo, I just came from Mexico, because I was 1 week there, and I wanted a poncho like that, and I saw him, we were talking, I was like, where did he get that?
Oh.
Did you ask him where he got the poncho?
Yes,
he told me. So he told you, yeah.
He wasn't there, right?
To all of our listeners, you cannot, absolutely not, in this entire country, it's a big ass like continent-sized country of Mexico, you cannot find a fucking poncho made in Mexico. All of them shits are outsourced to Disney World, by the way.
No, to China, no?
No, the ponchos in Mexico are from China.
Yes.
Every single one of them.
Stop
And then
it.
Disney buys up all the ponchos made in Mexico.
I'm not playing, bro.
He bought that at Disney World in Epcot, in the Mexican little village.
And while I was in Mexico, I couldn't find one.
I'm gonna buy you one in Merida. When I go to Merida, I'm gonna bring you one from Merida. That's gonna say made in Mexico in Merida for Ron.
Challenge accepted.
I welcome it. Oh, because they also, where we were at, we were close to the border of Guatemala, and they had Ecuadorian ponchos. Look at that.
They had a lot of those,
nice.
yeah.
Are they different design?
Oh, absolutely,
Yeah.
man. 'Cause I was looking for one with the hoodie.
They didn't have a hoodie. That was the difference.
Yeah.
And they were very affordably priced at Disney World. Like the most affordable item at Disney World.
Yeah.
Shockingly.
It's wild shit. But anyways, so you like the poncho. You accepted my sweaty face. and you shared those words with me. But I was like, yo, I got to go wipe my face so I can continue talking to this lady. But the thing is that when you're in these networking events, once you walk away, that's it. The person's gone. Yeah, you don't know where anybody's at. And you don't want to be the dickhead that interrupts the conversation. Like, hey, can we continue talking about what we were talking about before?
Yeah, no conversation continues in a networking event until another place.
So I was like, yo, you want to come to my podcast? And you're like, ¿y de qué tú estás hablando? and then I was like, nah, just words, palabra.
Que a nadie le importa.
Oh yeah, that's where there you go. Palabra, nadie le importa.
Eso es.
But so please, so going right before into our intro, I was asking you, what would your professional title be? Because you clearly have a very interesting and exciting position or positions, and I would love to hear you go a little bit more in depth about it.
Thank you for having me. I'm so happy to be here. Yeah, all thanks to the poncho. It's really happy that you have this space to talk about things that really matter. Although we think that are just words, they find their place, and it's like when you put a seed, it kind of flourish, Help me with my English when it's needed.
Nah, but you're giving me good analogies, though. I'm like, mira, yeah, that's what my show's about.
Great.
Of course. Yes, I think like, I am, as we were talking, my bachelor is in communications, in media, and I got a specialization in film production. And film management. So I am kind of mixing that, because at the end communication is a very is in everything you do. Like
I feel like communications is one of those titles that when people say finance, like, what the fuck you doing? What is that you do? And communications embodies a lot, and so that's why I think I always prefer an explanation, a breakdown. So when you communicate, like, what is exactly your position of communicating what to what?
in this in my first years I work on TV, like tenía como un programa, o sea, trabajaba en programas haciendo pequeños reportajes.
So like newscasting?
No, not newscasting. It was like how can I say?
Or like documentary?
No, it was like when you have in a program like variety program, a cultural space to talk about culture or have interviews. I used to interview people and do small capsules of interviews and that sort of things.
What was the name of the show?
I once worked in a program at the channel 25. I think it was the afternoon of 25 or something like that. It was in a channel in Dominican Republic, but it was really brief collaborations that I did there. It's really, I think in my country, like it's really hard to really live of that. Is what not only me has experienced, also many other colleagues that has studied communications, like willing to work on TV, and that it's really hard to get a job in when you have your profession and you're even talented. Like
I was in DR recently, and I gotta ask you this: it's like a ton of corporate buildings. ¿Qué es lo que hacen esa gente ahí? Todo el mundo es un abogado y nadie hace nada. Especially with driving, yo. I don't know who's collecting insurance out there. Esta gente manejan como medio loco, yo.
Oh my God, yeah. We need to ask a cousin of me that he works on insurance and all that. Yo creo que nuestro país cada vez tiene mejor especialización en diferentes áreas. Tengo parientes, por ejemplo, que se han ido fuera también a especializar, o en nuestro mismo país, que ya se ofrecen allí muy buenos másteres para luego de que termine. Once you end your bachelor, you get an specialization. So we could think like, do they work or no? Like in a lot of countries that maybe we have an idea, but I think, yeah, we have really important companies in our country. Like, it's like what has happened with the cinema. Like 10 years before, we didn't have the industry that we have today.
When we went for the Dominican Film Festival, and that was very interesting porque hay mucha gente que están tratando de invertir dinero en varios proyectos y también están usando el concejal dominicano y todas esas cosas para poner que sea un lugar para un destino para que estén grabando ahí. Pero lo que están grabando ahí son mucho que italiano. Estaba mirando muchas películas que son todo de Europa. Y esa es la otra cosa. ¿Usted vio un beneficio ahora que se ha ido para España o fue algo estratégico o cuál fue la decisión de irse a España?
¿Cómo llegaste a
de República Dominicana a España?
Sí. Primero voy a comentar un poco lo que has dicho de las películas. Hablabas en República Dominicana, que viste extranjeras. Sí que se están yendo a hacer muchas películas extranjeras. Es muy interesante porque les da ese beneficio a que vayan a nuestro país a hacer películas y tengan devolución también de los gastos que tengan allí, porque hay incentivos del tax. Entonces eso beneficia, ¿no? Que se crea trabajo, pero también eso ha permitido, esa ley ha permitido que muchas producciones dominicanas salgan adelante, que de otra forma no hubiesen podido, porque, como te digo, o sea, bueno, el cine es un bien cultural que hay que cuidar mucho, y creo que en Estados Unidos obviamente lo tienen mucho más que claro, 1000% claro, y en Europa también está muy claro de que se apoya de muchísimas maneras. Entonces, en mi caso, cuando terminé la universidad, yo también estudié música clásica. Sí, tuve la suerte que mi familia me apoyó muchísimo y para mí es una cosa muy bonita. Estudié piano y entonces sí, duré 2 años terminando para graduarme de piano cuando terminé pero siempre con miras a irme fuera. Sobre todo tenía mucho la vista puesta, que me llamaba mucho la atención Europa. Y bueno, la beca que salió más, la convocatoria más parecida a lo que a mí me gustaba, que era la televisión, pues como te digo, en ese tiempo, o sea, bueno, no hace tanto porque la ley es muy joven, pero no.
Eso no comenzó como hace 10, no, menos de 10.
Sí, 10 años.
10 años, right, yeah.
Sí, entonces fue cuando surgió la ley. Bueno, ya 12, que fue en el 2010.
Oye, por los últimos 2 años no contan. No,
exactamente. Nos han robado 2 años. Entonces, exacto, todos tenemos 2 años menos. Entonces, pero sí, esa decisión vino por eso, porque me dieron una beca para hacer un máster en Madrid. producción y bueno, en realidad es de film management, y fue una experiencia muy bonita que realmente abarcaba muchos procesos del cine, muchas patitas del cine, porque el cine es muy amplio, ¿no? O sea, te puedes dedicar a la producción o te puedes dedicar a la parte, qué sé yo, de leyes del cine, si eres, por ejemplo, un abogado que se dedica al cine. Hay muchas partes, la parte de consultoría, la parte de la distribución, que es muy importante también, ¿no? Esa promoción. Y entonces creo que en ese sentido me permitió ir allí, tener esa experiencia en un país, hombre, que es el país que de habla hispana, ¿no? Que con el cine más importante. Entonces sí que ha sido una experiencia bonita en cuanto a aprendizaje sobre todo.
Entonces, cuando usted dice film management y comunicaciones, más o menos, ¿qué proyectos? ¿Usted está haciendo proyectos que son españoles o está haciendo proyectos que son dominicanos y lo está manejando de España? ¿O cómo más o menos está funcionando eso?
Sí, pues mira, uno de los proyectos principales en lo que he formado parte, lo hice como line producer, que es sí, el directora de producción en este caso. Sí, es un documental sobre la misa católica, sí, de hecho se acaba de estrenar en México, está todavía en México por 3 semanas en México, y bueno, el estreno fue en España en abril y es en lo que va de año el documental más taquillero del año, o sea que...
Wow.
Sí,
Felicidades.
Qué bien.
Gracias,
Qué bien,
sí.
wow.
Sí. Así que fue muy bonito ser parte de esa película que es totalmente de producción española. Sí.
Y, come on, did anybody else have? I'm like asking mad questions.
No.
You're asking all the questions that I have.
Sobre el tema que estamos en la República, del cine. Yo cuando estábamos allá y caminamos la carpeta roja, yo me sentí bien orgulloso porque no me di cuenta tan fuerte el cine como está en la República. Sí. Aunque sí nos tomamos, como dice Ron, mucha gente de Argentina me topé. Cuando salí en la carpeta roja, yo al final llegué, me dicen, oye, ¿cómo te llamas? ¿Y dónde tú eres? Oh, soy de Argentina. Y dije yo, ¿qué hace aquí? Y dice, no, que el cine aquí está subiendo mucho. Y me topé con otra gente, otro de Italia. Y como que le dije a Ron, como que aquí no hay mucha gente dominicana haciendo...
There was no Dominicans.
Y lo que sí estaban, lo que tenían hambre, como que tenían un proyecto que querían hacer. Dice, oye, eso de Macorís. Y tengo este screenplay, te lo quiero enseñar. Y yo, déjame ver, dice, ¿y por qué tú no lo has hecho? Y dice, oye, se hace difícil hacer una película aquí, se hace súper difícil. Y yo, wow, dice, pero mire, tengo 3 screenplays, tengo 3 libros que tengo aquí ready to go. And I was like, Ron, it's a struggle. Like, aquí hay mucha gente dominicana que tienen proyectos, que tienen talento, pero no tienen esa avenida para hacer la película y más dinero. Tampoco no tienen dinero y el apoyo menos. y nos tomamos así con mucha gente, como dice, italiano, argentino, de todos lados. Y hablamos con mucha gente del cine dominicano que nos decían, dice, sí, tenemos muchas películas que no son dominicanas.
Oh, yeah,
claro.
the director, yeah. I mean, the founder.
Sí, dice, hay muchas películas que no son dominicanas, pero necesitamos porque no hay suficiente. Necesitamos más proyectos que sean producción aquí en la República. Y dije yo, wow, interesantemente. Dije yo, oye, aquí hay que movernos porque tenemos una oportunidad de hacer algo más en la República.
Sí, no, yo estoy totalmente contigo que siempre se puede hacer más y que es una oportunidad de contar nuestras historias contadas por nosotros mismos y que así que es muy lindo de que también venga gente y se haga esto en conjunto porque muchas películas, o sea, digo que la experiencia que tienen tal vez otros países que han venido, que al principio yo creo que han atraído mucho eso, para que vengan con la experiencia que tienen. Creo que J-Lo recientemente también tuvieron una película muy importante allí, una con Sandra Bullock. Entonces, claro, sí. Obviamente, como tú dices, son películas que claro, allí crean mucho trabajo, pero sí que, a ver, yo les invito también, por ejemplo, hay un festival que es muy bueno que yo suelo ir, tengo un par de años yendo, que es el de Festival de Cine Global, no sé si han tenido oportunidad de ir.
Yo vi en su Instagram, entonces en el mismo, en el cine Blue Mall,
ahí, por ahí.
y en la República Dominicana lo hacen ahí. Entonces, yo le quería preguntar sobre eso, con el cine global, entonces, ¿qué? ¿Traen películas del mundo que quieren hacer como el próximo Cannes o algo así? O porque también DR has a tent en Cannes, right? ¿No tienen películas que enseñan en the Cannes Festival o algo así?
Todavía hasta donde tengo conocimiento, quizás alguien puede, no hemos tenido películas seleccionadas como tal en el Festival de Cannes. Lo que van es que participan en la parte del mercado, que es diferente. O sea, el mercado es como cuando yo voy para que se venda la película, yo le abro un espacio, que eso es, tú incluso, o sea, vamos, obviamente tiene unos criterios porque, o sea, tienes que tener, o sea, que para entrar y para tener ese espacio de que te visione un posible comprador, un posible distribuidor. No es lo mismo estar seleccionado en el festival, que ha llevado pues un proceso de pues obviamente de selección bastante riguroso como es el de Cannes. Pero volviendo al tema de República Dominicana, sí, el festival global es el festival más importante que tenemos allí y el más longevo, y es un importante evento donde se congregan muchísimos dominicanos, no solo los que viven allí, sino los que estamos con un pie en nuestro país y un pie en varios lugares, como yo. Y es muy bonito, y ahí sí que puedes comprobar la cantidad de dominicanos que, a pesar de lo difícil que es el cine, están trabajando con cine. De hecho, yo trabajo con cine dominicano, sobre todo ahora más en la parte de distribución internacional. Colaboro con muchas películas ayudándole a un poco en la parte de festivales y en la parte también de encontrar ventas. Eso es lo que estamos buscando, y por eso fue que vine aquí, por la película The Lost Children of Jarabacoa, Dossier de ausencias en español, que es una película sobre casos de adopción.
Espérate, ¿cómo en español?
En español es Dossier de ausencias.
I've never heard that word in my life.
A ver, repítelo.
Which word?
Dossier.
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 Dossier de ausencias.
¿Cómo?
Dossier es un nombre.
Dossier es como...
Ausencias.
Es como un... ¿Cómo explicarte? Cuando... Es como un compendio de algo. Dame tu dossier, viene siendo como...
Like a document? Or
Sí,
a
puede ser como un
dossier?
documento,
palabra
un dossier.
francés,
¿no?
Exactamente, como un
Dossier.
compendio.
How does that translate into
Dossier de
lost
ausencia.
children?
Dossier es como una recopilación, ¿no? De cosas que...
So, dossier, ¿de qué? ¿Cómo fue?
Yo creo
de
que no
ausencias.
fue
De
una
ausencias.
translación
Sí, que
directa.
sería como un compendio de ausencias o recopilación de ausencias. Yo lo creo. Pero bueno...
¿Y en inglés?
The Lost Children of Jarabacoa.
Pero no fue directo la translación, ¿no?
Bueno, es que con el título tenemos una historia importante. De hecho, fue Yael Aplante, a quien le tengo muchísimo cariño, que es ahora el director de Doc New York. Y él en ese, cuando estaba considerando la película para Miami Film Festival.
Oh, sweet.
Sí, y nos ayudó a encontrar, él creó el título. Vamos a que
You
dejarlo.
might want to
sí.
talk to my man about that. No, I'm saying.
We should have him in the podcast to talk about
No,
it.
totalmente, porque un título es muy importante y realmente te engancha a la audiencia. Entonces,
Eso sí.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
that.
¿Y la película es un documentario o es una película feature film?
Pues mira, es la película, estamos ahí en los dos terrenos, es like experimental. And even it's very interesting what is happening with this film. In many film festival, it's been selected as a fiction, as a feature film, and in other, it's been selected as a documentary. For example, in New York Latino Film Festival, we were in the documentary part. Different in the Miami International Film Festival.
They put you as fiction.
Yeah, because we have as Nomadland. You guys watch Nomadland?
Nomadland?
Came
Oh,
out
no, man,
like
the
a
one
couple
in
years
the
ago.
Apple TV.
Oh, no.
Yeah, with McDermott, it's her name?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Francis.
Oh, no, I haven't.
With
Frances
an
McDermott.
Asian director, a woman.
Yes.
We didn't watch it.
Yes, yes.
No.
It's very
Is it
good.
Yeah, it's very interesting film, and it's in this film you have real people that live that way, like live, that a very nomad life.
Yeah.
That they live in the trucks, camping trucks, and you have Frances McDormand.
Major Go, I just remember the trailer. It's the chick that's standing in the fucking desert y se está yendo from like
She's
trailer park
from
to trailer
Fargo.
park.
The lady from Fargo. Frances McDormand
Yeah,
from
no, I
Fargo.
haven't watched it, but I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, I can have context. Also, my listeners can have context. It's that wild-looking show. I think I saw it on Hulu, the trailer. But whatever. I'll put
They do have it on Hulu.
I'll put a commercial for it. My bad. So go ahead.
No, amazing. Yeah, but like her, we have an actress that is like, let's say, the column of this story. We have our great Judith Rodriguez, Do you know her?
Yes.
Many films, many great Dominican films. Recently, also Rafaela, which is an amazing film that she also produced. She's the main role and also produced that film. So the very Dominican film, and also she's the protagonist of the Lost Children of Jarabacoa.
Oh, sure.
She's, well, let's say the actress that guides us in all the stories of real people that we are watching in this film.
So it is scripted, but it's based on actual events. Like, is that what it is? And that's why maybe there's that miscommunication of or let me rephrase, not miscommunication, because communications. That there's that misunderstanding of fiction versus documentary style, or is it that the way that it's shot, it's also documentary style as well?
Yeah, it's a documentary because it is in some points it is an experimental documentary, let's say, because there are real people interviewed by their real life. But you have Judith, that, by the way, she's also a comunicadora como yo, de carrera, de hecho, somos de la misma universidad y todo, but she's also a media journalism and an actress, but she's doing both things.
It's the narration of the narration of the whole.
Yes, she's
process.
interviewed them.
Yeah.
Like she had a script, of course, for that, and they had a script, but there were a lot of things that they didn't know. That they were como que tomaban la decisión mientras iban pasando. O sea, el guión no era rígido, obviamente, porque tratas con historia de personas. Tienes un guión de que, bueno, estas preguntas y tal. Y bueno, otra cosa que the main thing that happens in this film is we investigate what has happened with Moraima, which is a woman that she was given in adoption when she was 2 years old because her family was really poor. Eran de un estrato social muy humilde y tenían muchos hijos. Entonces,
Yo, you are breaking down such beautiful words for this. It's like, bueno, they came from the bad neighborhood. They broke and they're gonna figure it out.
Sí, bueno, más que decir así, o sea, me refiero a que eran de campos muy of the countryside of Dominican Republic, very deprived area, let's say, and we wanted to know what happened with her because she got adopted by a really wealthy family, so her life truly changed. So the director Rolando Diaz, he's from Cuba, and he wanted to know what happened with her. Is she alive or not? So it was the process of investigation was while the film was going. So
did her name change at all?
Did you find
the right person?
You have to watch the film. But actually,
I'm like, wait, now I want to know.
I want to
this.
watch the film now. Can we watch it? Where can we watch it? If it's
that's why probably I'm here in New York, and maybe this program of your guys that arrives to many people. I'm trying to get it on platforms so that many people could watch it. So we are working on that. We are trying to that's relations that we made on that network. Make your networking net worth.
That's right. That's right.
That's it. So we are trying to make that networking net worthing, please, and trying to get the film on a platform because we know that it's gonna be the best space for this kind of film, and I think it's a film that really gives us a great perspective of how hard could be things in life for some people.
You got to send me a copy of the movie because I got to see it, and I'll give you my honest review and feedback on it.
Thank you. And a promotion here.
Absolutely, no, we're definitely gonna put the plug
free
in.
promotion for 6 months.
You gotta send some PR photos.
Se llama entonces en español se llama ¿cómo?
En español, dossier de ausencia.
Dossier de ausencia. Y en inglés lo tienen.
The Lost Children of Jarabacoa.
The Lost Children of Jarabacoa.
In Spanish, it don't even got the fucking word Jarabacoa, bro. Like,
it does sound a lot more epic in English.
In English sounds
The
dope.
Lost Children of Jarabacoa.
But in Spanish, ¿qué es esa vaina?
No, Yaye es un genio. Además, cuando lo hablamos, me dijo, mira, este título en Estados Unidos nadie te va a ir a ver.
No, en inglés yo creo que es genial. Fue un genio en inglés porque y más cuando dice de Jarabacoa, que todo el mundo tiene tiene ese país que es de río, belleza, agua, todo lo bueno de Jarabacoa que uno piensa. Entonces dice, los Lost Children de Jarabacoa, dice, wow, ¿qué pasó ahí? ¿De qué viene? Ya de interés, ya está.
No, you had me hooked.
Claro.
I was like, oh shit, there's a story out there?
And you got a rags to riches story?
Yeah.
And you got to find out what happens to the protagonist?
Fucking fire.
But the thing is that we as Dominican, we know what is Jarabacoa, but other people, they don't
what is
know. So they
Jarabacoa?
are tired, but that, what is that?
What is that?
Yeah.
For someone who
and so you're going to eliminate that word in Spanish.
But what is, I'm asking as a person, what is Jarabacoa? Because I don't know. I haven't been to DR yet.
Well, Jarabacoa is an it's a beautiful town, but it's known for its rivers. It has beautiful waterfalls.
Is it inland?
And the greatest weather in the Dominican Republic.
Yes.
Like it's I think 22, 23 degrees all year.
Is it in the mountains?
Celsius, people.
In
Celsius.
the island? Oh, nice.
No,
Sounds
porque
beautiful.
imagínate, we don't talk Fahrenheit. We don't talk Celsius out here.
For our listeners, Celsius. That's not Fahrenheit. We'll freeze your
It's
ass
like
off.
in the 70s.
And in your drive in your car 2 hours, and then you are
Because it's a little mountain up high.
Dying
That's the reason
of-
the waterfalls. Obviously, that's the
sounds
reason they have waterfalls. But the temperature usually gets down there, around 70 something, always 80. It's beautiful, and it's not humid. It's not because they have so much forest, so many trees, and the weather's not as hot as
No,
Santo
bro.
Domingo.
Esa vaina está de pinga.
Santo Domingo, un gordo.
Eso está duro, bro. Even the pigeons are like fried. Y yo digo, no, de aquí no me muevo.
Estamos ya en Santo Domingo y todo es calculado. Si vamos a salir a qué hora, ¿a qué hora vamos a salir? Porque no hay tráfico, perfecta hora. Vamos a salir ahora, antes que venga el tráfico.
Sí.
No, pero para mí el sol.
Y
Yo no salgo de la hora de 10 a 2.
Y el calor. Como que, diablo, este clima aquí es
Sí,
brutal.
Sí, la verdad que hace un calor importante.
Tell your man, change that title. Hey, if I would make any suggestion, change that title.
No, what I do is that the thing is that since this film it has already a lot of media with the name Dossier, we always use both titles together.
Gotcha.
So the Lost Children of Jarabacoa, even in a lot of programs that the director has gone or the producer Alfonso Quiñones who lived this in person. There's a journalist that he lived that in person. That happened.
Wait, what do you mean that happened? Like he was one of the children?
He was the journalist that discovered the story and went to the Jarabacoa.
Okay,
yeah.
got it. Wow.
And then some people say like los niños perdidos de Jarabacoa. No, that's not the Spanish title, unfortunately.
Tú me has preguntado a mí, te he hecho eso a ti. Los niños perdidos de Jarabacoa.
Es que uno le pone su propio título. Mira, a mí no me gusta.
Siempre. El dominicano, bueno, es que hay muchas bromas. En nuestro país yo creo que, bueno, bastantes títulos creo que los dejamos en el mismo idioma a veces, creo. Pero, por ejemplo, en España hay tantas bromas porque hay unos títulos, pero unos títulos incluso línea.
Igual en
¿qué
México.
te quedas? Dios mío, pero había que ser tan poético.
Yo, how you went full Spanish on me, that's like Dios mío.
Qué título, no, totalmente. Sí.
¿Cómo vas escogiendo los proyectos en que trabajas?
Mira,
Como productora, como actriz o como artista, ¿cómo vas escogiendo?
Well, on the business
gracias.
side, then we'll talk about the acting side. So on the business side, how do you make these choices?
on the business, el tema es que yo tengo, por lo menos estas elecciones que han hecho, por ejemplo, la del documental de la misa, El beso de Dios, que fue dirigido por Pietro Ditano. Estudiamos juntos el máster, sí, fue un compañero de clase, entonces de ahí que tenemos una amistad desde hace ya 8 años y bueno, me invitó a trabajar en el proyecto y fue como que muy natural, sí, y además era algo que a mí me tocaba mucho, que yo soy católica y era como un poco de también, oye, me voy a trabajar en algo que a mí me gusta, o sea, ¿sabes? La película, bueno, quien la ve, o sea, se impresiona mucho de lo bonita que es, que también muy visual, aparte de lo que trata, es muy tiene mucho, pues fue grabada como en 5 países o algo así, con diferentes espacios, digamos, naturales que son impresionantes, como las playas de las catedrales en España, muchos lugares lindos.
You guys
que
wrote
eso fue-
off every fucking trip. Is that what you're telling me? No?
Y en ese sí, en otros proyectos que he estado, yo creo que a mí yo también llevo como que esto va, esto va a ser bien. Una vez pude trabajar en un proyecto que trataba sobre las horas extenuantes de trabajo. Fue una colaboración breve, pero que a mí me gustó mucho el proyecto. Yo he ido muchas veces a IDFA, que es el International Documentary Film Festival of Amsterdam, where I also was an intern there. I had a great experience there. And then I've been going there like for 5 years, because I love to go there and watch the best documentaries. And this stories like aim for a better world. You watch those films, you say, hey, this voice needed to be heard. So I think that's a very big part of why I choose a documentary. I think, it's instinct of, is this need to be heard?
Okay.
Why? And why I need to be part of it. And yeah, I try to, I have a compromise with humanitarian subjects, with humanitarian things, and I think being part of that type of projects is amazing. For example, in the Lost Children of Jarabacoa, I feel really connected to that. Children need to have they need to have all the things they when they are raising, they need to have education, food. They are children, they need to enjoy that. So when I read that film, of course, when I watched the film, I wanted, and they asked me to if we could work together for the film. I was like, yes, I'm totally on board. So now we have a lot of promotion of this film, but definitely the important thing is to bring the step of platforms so that everybody watches it. And it's just instinct, I guess.
That's dope. What it sounds like, it's aside from the humanitarian aspect behind it, it's more also about the passion behind it as well.
Of course.
And so the passion speaks more to your instinct, your heart, and your drive of making sure that these projects and these voices projects and stories are actually seen and heard. So I applaud you.
Thank you.
Because the thing is that it's real quick to give up on that shit. It's like, mira, esto no está haciendo dinero, bye.
Es muy complejo. Y bueno, y añado también, además de cosas humanitarias, historias que a veces tú dices, óyeme, qué bella historia de amor. Eso, pues es que esto tiene la gente que ver esto. La gente, o sea, no puede pasar un minuto sin que esto deje de contarse. O sea, son cosas que te convencen.
Nah, see, so that's wow. But now on the acting side, what is it that you are trying to do? What type of projects you're into? Did you have you done any projects here in the States, or what's been your latest project?
My latest project is when I was a part of a short film. I had a lead role, Elena.
Oh, okay.
What was the name? Is the movie named Elena, or is your character?
No, my role, my character.
And what's the name
was
of the
Elena.
movie?
Temporary is.
Coño, what's up with you and your titles, man? What's up?
we can do. I literally want to go on my phone because I'm gonna tell you later about that title. It's a title of 2 lines in a Spanish film that they translated. They translated a title in 2 lines of a phrase.
El diablo.
¿En español cómo se llama?
No, I don't remember, but I went to a film. I think it was a film event, and they were talking to experts about titles.
Coño.
And I say I need to type it because it was so crazy. Like I think I have it, but.
That's
and I'm gonna tell you later.
No, the titles are a very, very difficult thing.
They are hard.
It's like oh my god.
But especially on Spanish films, it's always. I mean, every time I see one, either on HBO, Latino, or something, they have these long, like she said, like 2 sentences. I'm like, why?
Gotta come up with Mari. Yeah.
Los niños perdidos de Jarabacoa.
Before I answer your question, I found it.
Okay.
Este Monte Hellman, que es a very important director. I think he's I don't remember, but I think he's East Europe or something like that. But he he lived in the United States for a long time. He's a great artist. I got to watch one of his very, very long films. What's his name? But I'm just
what's the director's name?
Monte Hellman.
But
he was great. Like he made films of like portion of a small film that he made of life, and he put all that together, and he could have a film of 3 hours, something like that.
Wow.
But you get entertained because suddenly you see a little girl, and suddenly you see, I don't know, a very famous friend of him because he mingled a lot with con muchos actores de aquí de Hollywood y eso. Entonces, o sea, es increíble el hombre. Pero bueno, de lo que sé, te voy a contar. I will say about the title because I take a lot of notes. The title is Toll Lane Blacktop. Es una película de culto. It's a cult film of him. And the translation in Spanish is Carretera asfaltada en dos direcciones.
¿Qué novela es esto? Yo, ¿qué fucking novela?
Asfaltadas en dos direcciones.
What was the first 2 words that you said? In what language? Is in English?
The original title is Toll Lane Blacktop. Toll Lane
Blacktop.
And in Spanish is that like carretera
So it's a toll lane with a blacktop. So la carretera
asfaltada en dos direcciones.
which is basically the asphalt road.
2-way street, nigga.
2-way street.
But in Spanish, what is in Spanish?
Doble vía.
Doble vía.
Yeah.
Hubiese sido más fácil. Doble vía. Pero tenían que hacer toda la descripción.
Two lane blacktop.
Bueno, de verdad, yo creo que podíamos hacer un programa solo de títulos porque es mucho. Pero la pregunta cuál era, que quiero responderte.
Lo que pasa es que doble vía no se dice.
¿Cómo que doble vía no se dice?
Sí, pero yo creo que es un título de una película. No se va a sonar bien. Doble vía de asfalt.
Ya viene de tigre.
Tal vez sí se iría bien.
Pero, dilo, ¿cómo te lo dirías?
Doble vía,
doble
bro.
Vía.
Doble vía. That's the name of my title. That's
Muy sencillo, ¿no?
Doble vía.
Sencillo, te conecta.
Yeah.
Doble vía, ya.
Ya.
No asphalt.
¿Quieres más?
No asphalt.
Fuck no. Una calle, bro, doble vía, doble vía carretera.
En mi pueblo había un negocio que se llamaba Doble Vía, si mal no recuerdo. O
¿Y
en
de qué fue el negocio?
Creo que era un lugar así de
It was a gas station.
Si hubiera sido un car wash.
un bar.
Si hubiera sido la película mía, que doble vía sin doble parking. Ya. I don't know about York.
It's not a documentary on Washington Heights parking,
That's
bro.
But you could make a documentary on Washington Heights
Claro.
We
parking.
should actually.
Calle sin parking disponible.
Calle sin parking disponible. Ya tienen el título en español.
Esa no soy en español.
Calle sin parking disponible.
Todo el mundo va a saber de qué barrio se trata.
Yo, legit. No, that I like that one.
Se me olvidó la pregunta con lo de los títulos, pero no pasa nada.
No, entonces lo que él estaba preguntando era sobre el proyecto de la película que ha hecho y cuál fue el motivo de ir a... Como usted estaba hablando que todos los otros proyectos son passion projects, basically, or instinct, in regards to acting. How do you choose a film? Mm-hmm. And now that you've done this film that has that very, very long title that I already forgot. Tell me what that movie was about.
Well,
two lane blacktop. That's it. 2 lane blacktop.
No, the short film actually is the thesis of a film direction student of Columbia University.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's for his thesis. So it was he found me on Backstage. I have my profile there, and because I'm really looking forward to come and work for projects in the United States. And he actually, they needed me they was so fast because he told me like, I think you're perfect for this role. Will you be interested? When I read it, I really liked it because it has like a trasfound about war. And about how is the situation currently in many countries with the violence, that is in increase. unfortunately. And the title is not, the provisional title is not that, not long. It's very, I like it. Bodega Summer, I think is Bodega Summer. And yeah, the Elena is a young girl, a Latina girl that she's seen with a guy like and she knows about his responsibility because he's from an Arabic country. You know, they made the wedding for them.
Hold up, entonces you got with a Arabic dude?
No. In the short film.
Because the motherfuckers do not accept our people. It's just straight them. Eso
No, aquí, allá sí hay.
Allá, ¿dónde?
Sí.
En Santo Domingo.
Pero la historia transcurre aquí.
No, todo aquí, ok.
Sí,
Bro,
transcurre
aquí
en-
no. La mamá
Aquí
de
no
ella
es
te da
como-
un coñazo.
Quizá era muy creativo el director. But it was a really beautiful experience, and looking forward that he send us soon the rough cut. And
Oh, sweet. So
Exciting.
you're in pre-production stage. I mean, in post-production.
these are- So
well, we
fast,
just
no?
shot it yesterday, but since
What?
yeah, we ended the shot. So you were asking like what I really I'm an artist. Like I love arts, and since I was a little child, I wanted to be on TV. I wanted to be on the films. What I wanted was to act in films. But in our countries, like for that time, we didn't have like local films. Like you really wanted to say, oh, I will study acting to act in the film of my country. Now it's possible. Now a lot of actors could do that and could have, a lot of work on that.
How old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Wait, what? This question?
No, because to get a gauge or a sense of how far back you go, and to share with our audience how nuclear the country still is, and how much of an infancy stage it is, because it's still that very young, and that's why I asked. So now they could on a
it's
personal
okay.
level. Oh, no, una jovencita, people.
Pero yo pensaba que 25.
Claro, ese es el problema. Hay un problema. Mira, esta parte. Luego hablamos de esta parte.
Está caliente tú.
I'll bleep out the age, don't worry. But
Yeah, you put like the exactamente. Porque ya, tú sabes, estoy muy contenta de mi edad y yo pienso que los años hay que vivirlos y disfrutarlos y ser consciente de que pasan por algo y que es bonito. Cada etapa tiene su parte especial. But going to that, like the last years I've been taking classes at the studio of Iñaki Ayerra. He's a great Spanish professor and actor. Mm-hmm. He also took classes here with Stella Adler. Mm-hmm. He had a really good formación, una buena training. He studied a lot, and he was also in films that got nominated in Oscar.
oh shit, sweet.
Yeah, and I've been having classes with him, and also I willing to start acting for Dominican films and who knows, here and in Europe.
Fuck it, let's
Yeah,
get it. Man.
that's
That's right.
I'm looking for the applause. There we go.
I think we are Latin. We need more representations in film. We need more stories that talk about us, about how we are, because sometimes I think we gain a lot, but there's still a lot to do.
Oh, yeah.
Like, the diversity is a really important part that we need to,
Oh, yeah.
because we are different. Like,
And like people don't know that, because I mean those films, like you said, like Sandra Bullock, Jennifer Lopez, they all film pictures in the Dominican Republic, but they don't give us the credit.
Oh, of course not.
These films, they make it seem like as in the jungles of Thailand or the Philippines while they're in Dominican Republic.
Yeah,
or they shoot something, say, oh, it's in Cuba, but they're in La Sola Colonial.
They're
Meanwhile, the whole
stretching those
time,
down,
it's they making it seem like it's like James Bond is going to the Cuban buildings, but that wasn't Dominican Republic. They shot that in the old town Dominican Republic, and it's sad that we don't get the props, we don't get the credit, not even at the end credits. Yo he esperado, yo mira los créditos que termina la película, déjame decir que dicen República Dominicana. Nah.
But in IMDb sí que suele, in IMDb, they normally put where the locations were, or we can also add information, because
Yeah, but-
also we add
Sí, pero eso,
if you don't see there, put it there.
Está bien.
She's going through that. She's going through that.
The
And
thing
me,
is,
I
like,
look too.
Yeah, I have to do. And the thing is, like, sometimes it's the need of the production, because good thing is, like, normally they at least say, like, we are shooting, because they need to have that promotion in Instagram, that we are Dominican Republic.
La única
shooting.
película que puso en República Dominicana, Fast and the Furious.
Oh, yeah.
Fue la única que dijo.
Yeah, but those movies are trash.
Coño, pero vean acá, pero vean.
Yo, bro, I'm just saying that.
Dale un chance al país.
No.
Déjalo que brille.
I'm not saying the country. I'm talking about the movie.
Sí, pero
But the title is good.
Tego Calderón was in one of those movies.
Tego Calderón.
Anyways.
Pero la película hizo medio billón.
Yeah, man, no, it's good. People like bad shit. Nah.
Ajá.
McDonald's still makes a lot of money.
Poor taste makes money.
Pero te gusta la papa.
Imagínate.
Ah,
Now, it's funny you mentioned, not funny, but it's very revealing that you mentioned that we do need more inclusivity, awareness, and diversity, and all those good words, right? But yesterday Warner Brothers closed Stage 12, and that was like the one studio that had all the shows for diversity.
Oh, I saw that a few months ago. I think I sent you that. Like, great,
but
they're shutting production down. Our little window's closing, y'all.
Yeah. They gave us 5 years, 3 years. I'm pasado.
No, and then they won't even take back the 2 years.
No,
that were
and we lost the 2 years.
But were they shutting it down to open something else,
Nah,
or
bro,
just?
yeah.
No, they're cutting down
That's
because
it.
we need to cut costs. So,
and because that show, that Dominican show from Miami, I forgot the name.
one on Netflix?
Nah, the one on HBO.
Oh, the one with the family.
Yeah,
no?
they got wrapped up.
Yeah, I mean, you could. Unfortunately, you could. Sometimes.
That new CEO, he's a savage.
We need content from all of us.
I think
All of
we
us
need-
and Latino. Wait, hold on.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not done. We need content from the whole Latinx, Latino family, whatever you want to go by, and we need it. Specificity in the stories too, because there's also a lot of content I'm seeing that is coming from not necessarily DR or Mexico, but it feels like I want to see more enriched content in what we make instead of what I'm seeing as like a lot of copy paste or like, this looks like another typical like story I'm a little disappointed in the content I'm seeing.
They're only looking for the spicy Latina.
Yes, no, there's so many rich stories to tell. Like all of us are so different.
It's all the generic. You're Spanish, that means you're Puerto Rican. Even if you're from whatever other country, it's wild. What I was gonna say is that, and I don't know if this encompasses your same feeling. I think we need more authentic stories.
Yes,
Definitely.
yes,
and
that's
so
what it is.
By authentic to who it is we are, because we all are different, and they try to kind of just mash us into one.
1 month. We have 1 month, y'all. It's Hispanic Heritage Month.
And it's like
it doesn't even start the 1st of October. It starts like October 6th.
And Caribbean Latino is different from like South American Latino, and it's mad shit. But they're closing down the studios. Anyways,
but we're gonna change that.
We're gonna change that.
We're changing that.
Yeah.
We're changing that.
I think it does need to begin.
Well, she's changing that
with other countries. Yeah, like you got to make that happen in DR and bring that fucking presence and say like, yo, this is a fucking staple. And then, bring the people there not only to produce there, but to empower others to cultivate their stories, cultivate their productions, and build off of that. But I know it's tough, and I'm not trying to just put it on you, but obviously you are doing it. So
yes, we must. It's part of it. If you want something to change, you have to also work on that. Be part of that and talk about that anytime you have. And as you say, I think it's really important to make good films, like to say like why the world needs to see this. How am I going to make this in the best way? There's no other word, because it's not just coming and making more content solo por hacerlo, sino que hay que dar lo mejor, porque tenemos muchas historias maravillosas que contar, como tú decías, en todas nuestras diásporas, en todas, tenemos mucha riqueza. O sea, yo creo que como somos una cultura tan mezclada, tenemos mucha belleza.
Tan variada también.
Muy variada,
sí.
muy variada. O sea, tenemos de todo un poco, porque al final, porque es lo que es, mira, hoy estamos el día de la raza. Entonces, es lo que te digo, que al final, yeah, it's really important and it's, yeah, urgent.
What has been your experience working in Spain as a Latina?
As a Latina, well, it's really a challenge. It's really a challenge because it's not only that you arrive there, you have to I arrived as a student, so then you have to leave a time. Now it's kind of more easy to access to the laboral, let's say, opportunities, because a student can stay for work, even like extend their visas for work or extend the visa for practice. I was a lot of time during practice, many times during practice in film companies, and that helped me a lot because I gained experience from them, because they had a long way going, and that was good. But in terms of job, it took some time until you can have opportunities in your own area. And like I had the opportunity also in the communications. I work in a foundation also there, and now I'm doing a mixed things. Like I have my own projects in the Dominican Republic. Working from there and from a row and from here, from where with the computer, and also working for a Spanish company, like, yeah, and then you have to mix it, but it's I think it's tough for the people living there, because there are a lot of techniques there, a lot of technical people, a lot of people from production that are very, very good and that already know each other. So let's say, like, to break into the system is hard. I'm still on it. Like, kind of this film really helped me, like, in terms of, wow, you have a film that already is being released on a let's say, on a cinema that is very it's not very common for a documentary. Normally documentaries don't go to cinema in Spain. They doesn't go. So yeah, we are on that. We are doing the best we can. And yeah, I think it's the part of cuando vas a un país nuevo, tienes que llegar, luchar por abrirte ese espacio, y bueno, estamos tratando de hacerlo de la mejor forma, haciendo un trabajo con mucha entrega, con mucha pasión, y yo creo que las cosas llegan a su tiempo. También tengo mucha confianza en Dios, y creo que eso me ayuda a decir como, bueno, en algún momento todo este esfuerzo va a darme, ¿verdad? Va a tener sus frutos. Eso hay que esperarlo.
Something we always say is patience perseveres, and we remind each other of that, like, patience perseveres.
Patience perseveres.
That is the best.
What's the translation in Spanish that you could give into a movie title?
Two sentences.
Va a ser larga. Un sermón.
Paciencia, pero no, there's no word. I don't even. We're gonna transition so because we're at the hour mark. Wow. And yeah, like, así se fue rápido.
Se fue súper rápido.
Sí,
de verdad que no quería que leyera otros títulos.
Because just one title alone took up half an hour. No, I'm just playing. So we're going into a section of the show that we call Last Call for Words. I always start with this man over here, with my brother Monsieur Los.
He always starts with me.
So my brother Monsieur.
I'm never ready.
I know, it's the same
so
thing.
So pull that gem, bro.
I'm sorry.
Pull that gem. I mean, first and foremost, te queremos dar un aplauso a ti por tu trabajo, por tu cultura, todo lo que tú haces, por lo que estás haciendo, por la cultura de nosotros los latinos, dominicanos, que sean de México, de donde sea donde venimos latinos. Muchas gracias por todo. Te apreciamos y con mucha gratitud. We have a lot of culture and a big story to tell as Latinos, as H was saying. I mean, Dominican Republic has so much to give, so much to show, and we're not showcasing it. You know, we're not even we haven't even scratched the surface of what we have in our culture, la cultura campesina, which is a big, it's who we are. as Dominican. I mean, I went with Ron when we went to the capital, and I was so upset that I didn't get to show him the rest of the country. But it is a big the campesino, the campo.
I've been to the campo. It's just wild.
Yeah, but it's beautiful. You know, like I love it. That's why I feel the most comfortable, and I think that we have so much rich culture to show, and just the same way Mexico does, which they're so deeply enriched in their food and their panchos and everything else they make.
Most especially their panchos.
We have a lot of story to tell, you know, and
Totally.
we need to do better to show it, case it, and put it out there so people can see what we have.
Totally. No, thanks for tus palabras tan bonitas. Thanks for your words. It's been really beautiful to hear that, to feel your appreciation, because it's really a struggle, like es una lucha constante, ¿verdad? Para abrirte caminos. Yo tengo lugares en los que a veces he tocado puerta, some intense, for example, of sales of films, for example, and I've been told like, oh, maybe because we don't do other Spanish, like other, sí, te lo dicen, o sea, que quisieran que fuera el español castellano, o sea, como que te quedas como, we need to be more open. If you don't understand, use subtitles. But we need to have our space. And at the same time, I say to the Latin people, we also need to support our films, because this is a boomerang effect. If I support more independent films, other voices, Latin films, of course, no es que vaya a ver todo, o sea, pero si ve un proyecto de calidad que le llama la atención, pues apóyelo, porque hay mucho sacrificio. It's a lot of sacrifice to put our stories there, and we need the support of our people, of all Latinos, to watch more Latin films, to do more Latin films also, to support more Latin films, because that is what is going to be the change.
That's right.
That's going to make the change, definitely.
Nah, that's real. That's fucking very well said.
We need those Latin producers.
Yeah.
We need those higher ups to be Latino, more importantly, too, I think.
Not like that dude, though, that we saw at that Samsung event. I don't want him. That's man.
I mean, if
What did he do to you? What happened?
Yo, man, brother.
He wasn't a good speaker, but if they open the doors for all the creatives to come in and share the stories, and by all means, we need more people like that.
I mean, I don't care if he stutters. If he's put his wallet open and give that money out,
just don't have him speak on stage. That's fine. He just needs to open the door.
Yeah, last words, Lady H.
Sorry. Patience perseveres. It's
Nice.
thinking of the last words, it made me think we've had a lot of beautiful people on the show, inside and out. And you are another beautiful person, inside and out, and a beautiful guest. So thank you for coming on.
Thank you.
I'm excited.
Please have me again.
Well, next time you're in New York, you have a home here. And I'm excited to see Dossier de Ausencias, or the Lost Children of Jarabacoa.
Wow.
That's right. Very good.
So I can't wait to see that. You have me excited to see this project that you worked on.
Please, I look forward to hear from you.
It's always beautiful. It's always a blessing being in the presence of people that are actually doing. We are in a world full of, consumers and people that are just taking things in and regurgitating whatever they're being told. But then you have every once in a while people that are actually doing, and you're doing, which in itself is the win. Because not only are you doing, but you're doing and you're representing us in a way that is beautiful. And that's also a huge win. And so what makes it all the much more reinvigorating is the fact that it is in such a young stage. You mentioned the age. You are far young and you are far ahead. Like, you are so young and you're so ahead of the game. And the thing is that all the challenges that we have to overcome, because there are many challenges, there are a shit ton, and we are taking the extra step of navigating through all of those challenges in a graceful way. Not once did you ever share anything in a way that was like, there was a little bit of edge to it. you communicated such grace. And I'm like, you know, there are other people a little rough around the edges. I would have been like, fuck that shit. Nah. But you said it. Everything was so elegant. Everything was so eloquent. And it's all the much more reinvigorating and a reminder that not only is there hope, but that there is change. It may feel marginal, but there is change. And that little bit or however much change that is coming about is very substantial because it's an improvement. And even if we're taking a couple steps back, it does feel like it's only to take giant leap forward. And that's when it's just all the much more reinvigorating and beautiful. And so I thank you for being that in-person reminder, and hopefully whoever listens to this episode can get that as well, because there's not only one way to get to your destination. This journey has multiple paths, and you said how many legs how many paths you're taking. The film industry has many paths, and although the child in you wish to be the person on TV and the movie star, but you're finding other avenues as well while still maintaining integrity of the passion that your inner child has. So it's fucking just a reminder that go after it, and I thank you for sharing. So I appreciate you.
And be inspired. Be inspired.
And inspired, bro.
Patience perseveres.
That's right.
I'm gonna get shirts with that on.
Yeah.
Many thanks for your words. Really, I have all your sayings for me in my heart. It's really important, and this gives me more strength to go on, to continue this fight. Let's say.
It's this journey, man. And you said something, the boomerang effect. I never used it, but I'm stealing it now.
I know, right? Yeah.
It's like no boomerang effect.
We call that ladronazo.
Yeah.
It's a reference.
I'm just going to refer you. Once again, this is Just Words, Nobody Cares, and I thank you so much for being on. Anyway, and that was not the outro. There you go.
That's it.
Thank you, guys. Perdón que lo quería decir, pero aprovecho antes de que nada felicitarles a ustedes por este espacio tan lindo y sobre todo necesario. Es un espacio también muy necesario. Qué bonito lo que hacen, exaltar el talento y la gente latina. Así que les deseo lo mejor, que sigan creciendo, que esto llegue a mucha más gente. Muy bonito. Congratulations. Thank you.
It's a real life applause because I said I took off the headphones.